That work jacket you grabbed off the rack might leave you shivering by mid-morning or ripped open the first time it catches on something sharp. And it's not bad luck. It's legendary names selling you a thin shell they know isn't warm, and outdoor and fashion brands selling you a look that was never built for a job site. Today I've got 7 work jackets to leave on the rack, and 3 I'd actually spend my own money on. Walmart Swiss Tech Budget Jacket. You've seen these. $25 at Walmart, big and puffy, looks plenty warm, hanging on the rack, and you figure it'll get you through winter. And standing in the heated store, it feels fine. The problem shows up the first cold morning outside. Here's what's going on. That puffiness isn't warmth, it's loft. A cheap jacket like this uses a thin layer of low-grade polyester fill, and not much of it, with no real windproof layer on the outside, so the first gust just cuts straight through it. And there's a second problem. That cheap fill clumps and flattens after a few washes, so even the little bit of warmth it started with packs down into cold spots and thin patches. It looks like a winter coat. It insulates like a windbreaker. And that's what it costs you. You end up stacking 2 sweatshirts underneath just to survive the morning, which is the exact bulk a good jacket saves you from. You're cold, your hands go numb, and numb hands around tools and machinery is how mistakes happen. Then the thing's flat and useless by next winter anyway. Being cold at work all day isn't tough, it's just a bad jacket. Carhartt Chore Coat Carhartt. For most people, this is the winter work jacket. The brown duck coat you picture when someone says workwear. So you grab one expecting to be toasty on a cold morning, and a lot of people end up standing in the cold wondering why they're not. Here's the piece nobody checks. Carhartt doesn't make one jacket. They make a whole range of warmth levels in nearly the same look. There's the unlined duck shell meant for cool days. There are lightly lined versions, and then there are the actually insulated lines. The classic chore coat or a basic Detroit jacket you probably grabbed is often unlined or only thinly lined. It's a tough, rugged windbreak. It is not a cold weather coat, even though it looks like one on the hanger. The tag tells you which one you've got. Almost nobody reads it. So that's the cost. You paid full Carhartt price, and you're shivering because you bought the shell, not the insulated version. Here's the fix, and it's easy. For real cold, go straight to their insulated lines, names like the Firm Duck Insulated, the Shoreline, or the Yukon for serious cold. Same brand you trust, actually built to keep you warm. Just match the jacket to your winter. Columbia makes genuinely good gear. It's warm, a lot of it sheds rain, and it's comfortable, so it's natural to figure a Columbia jacket will handle a cold job site just fine. Here's why that logic breaks. Columbia builds for a completely different kind of cold. Their jackets are engineered for hiking, skiing, standing around outdoors, where the enemy is weather, and the priority is lightweight that lets you move and breathe. To hit that, they use thin, slick, technical nylon shells, and thin technical nylon has one giant weakness on a job site. It snags, punctures, and tears the second it catches on rebar, rough lumber, a sheet metal edge, or a stray screw, the stuff a worksite is covered in. An outdoor shell was never designed to rub against any of it. And that's the cost. You spend real outdoor brand money on a jacket that's plenty warm, then watch it get shredded in a couple weeks by the exact environment you bought it for. Warmth isn't the whole job. A work jacket has to survive contact with the work. Keep the Columbia for the trail and the ski hill where it belongs, and put something abrasion built on your back at the site. Wrangler Riggs Workwear. Wrangler carries that rugged Western reputation, and their workwear jackets lean on it. The Riggs and the utility denim styles get marketed as heavy-duty, built tough, ready for ranch and job site. If the Wrangler name earned your trust growing up, it's an easy grab. But run the same check we always run. Heavy duty and utility aren't regulated words. They go on the tag whether the jacket earns them or not. So look past the language at the actual build. A lot of these are a mid-weight denim or canvas dressed up with utility styling, extra pockets, a tough-looking cut, a rugged wash. But the fabric weight is ordinary and the insulation, if there's any, is light. Put it next to a real 12-ounce ductwork jacket and the difference in hand is obvious the second you pick both up. The ruggedness is mostly in the positioning. And here's the cost. You pay a premium over a basic jacket because you expect armor and warmth, and you get an average weight utility styled coat. Fine for a mild day running errands, underbuilt for hard, cold work. When a brand keeps telling you how tough something is, go feel the fabric before you believe it. Dickies, Eisenhower Dickies jackets are cheap and everywhere, and the fabric on their Duck and Eisenhower zip styles is honestly fine for the money, so they look like a smart budget buy. The trouble isn't the part you're looking at. On a zip-up jacket, the weak link is almost never the fabric, it's the hardware. A jacket genuinely lives and dies by its main zipper, and the easiest place for a budget jacket to shave cost is exactly there, with a lower grade zipper and cheap snaps. So the sliders start separating behind you as you zip it, the teeth stop meshing, or the pull tab snaps off in the cold. And here's why that's fatal. Once the main zipper quits, you can't close the jacket, which on a winter coat is the entire point. The duck shell can be in great shape and the jacket's still finished, because a sewn-in zipper is a pain to replace and often costs more than the jacket did. So that's the cost. You end up with a jacket that won't close in January and a trip to buy another one. The fabric outlived the one part you actually needed. On any jacket, work the zipper hard before you trust the coat. Amazon Tactical Soft Shells, Want-Do, CQR, and the generics. You've probably run this search. You type in waterproof work jacket or tactical soft shell, and up pops one for 35 bucks, fleece-lined, waterproof, thousands of 5-star reviews, every feature listed. It feels like you cracked it. You didn't. This is the oldest trap, just bundled up for winter. Let's do the math out loud. A jacket that's genuinely warm, actually waterproof, and built to last cannot get made and shipped to your door for $35. Something has to give. So it's thin fill that doesn't hold heat, a coating they call waterproof that's really light water resistance that soaks through in a steady rain, seams that were never sealed, and quality control that's a straight coin flip between units. Those thousands of glowing reviews just bury the cold, leaky ones way down where you'll never scroll. And here's the real cost. There's no company standing behind it when you're wet and freezing in month 2. A jacket has one core job: protect you from the weather, and a coin flip jacket is the one thing you can't afford to gamble on when the temperature actually drops. Buying the wrong jacket twice always costs more than buying the right one once. Fashion chore coats. The chore coat is having a moment. Walk through any mall or scroll any clothing brand and you'll find. Now that you know which ones to put back on the shelf, let's talk about what you should actually be grabbing instead. And the good news is, these aren't hard to find. A workwear chore jacket, boxy cut, patch pockets, the whole look. It looks exactly like the real thing your grandfather wore, so you figure it works like one too. It doesn't. Here's what's actually in your hands. These fashion chore coats are cut from thin, unlined cotton, chosen for how it drapes and looks, not for warmth or toughness. The workwear is a costume. The fabric is often lightweight, the buttons and hardware are delicate, and a lot of them are cut slim or cropped for style, which looks sharp and fights you the second you reach overhead or crouch down. There's no insulation and no reinforcement anywhere, because keeping you warm and protected was never the design goal. Looking the part was. So what does it cost you? You pay a fashion price for a thin cotton jacket that leaves you cold in tears at the first real snag. As a light layer on a mild day or a style piece over a shirt, sure, it's fine. As actual workwear, it's a prop. Buy the fashion chore coat because you like the look. Don't buy it to work in. Now that you know which ones to put back on the shelf, let's talk about what you should actually be grabbing instead. And the good news is these aren't hard to find. Roundhouse Duck Hooded Jacket. If money's tight, start here, the Roundhouse Duck Hooded Jacket. What sets it apart is simple. It's the most honest, heavy cotton duck you can get for the money, made right here in the USA. Here's how they do it. Roundhouse has been making workwear in Oklahoma for over 100 years, and they've never chased trends. The shell is a heavy, real cotton duck, the thick, tightly woven canvas that actually blocks wind and shrugs off abrasion instead of tearing. The lined versions add a quilted insulation layer for genuine warmth, not just loft. And because they sell a lot of it direct, there's no big brand markup padding the tag. It's the old formula: heavy fabric, simple build, honest price, done right. You'll find these on their site and through a handful of dealers, usually somewhere around 70 to 90 bucks depending on whether it's lined. Expect it stiff out of the bag because that's what real duck feels like before it breaks in, and expect a roomy, classic cut you can layer under. For the money, nothing at the big box store touches it. Start here and you won't feel shortchanged. Byrne Original Quilt-Lined Hooded Jacket. Step up a little and this is the warm one you can actually walk in and buy today. The Byrne Original Quilt-Lined Hooded Duck Jacket. What sets it apart is that it nails the two things a cold weather work jacket actually needs, at a price that stays reasonable, and it's stocked everywhere. Here's why it works. The shell is a heavy 12-ounce cotton duck with a water-repellent finish and triple-stitch seams, so the outside is genuinely tough and sheds light weather. Then inside, it's got a heavyweight quilted insulation liner. That combination is the whole game. A tough shell alone just blocks wind, and insulation alone tears apart on a job site. You need both layers working together, and this is where a lot of jackets skimp on one or the other. Byrne gives you warmth that's comparable to the big legendary name for noticeably less money. You'll find these at farm and ranch stores, hardware stores, and online, usually right around 80 to 100 bucks. It's cut roomy so you can layer a hoodie underneath. Grab one, put it to work through a real winter, and you've got a warm, tough jacket without paying boutique money. Filson Line Tin Cloth Cruiser. And if you're ready to just buy the last work jacket you'll need for a very long time, Filson's Line Tin Cloth Cruiser. What sets this apart is that it's not built to be replaced. It's built to be handed down. Here's the reason. Tin cloth is a heavy 14-ounce cotton that's soaked with wax and oil, and that wax does two jobs at once. It makes the jacket shed rain, water beads up and rolls off, and it makes the fabric brutally abrasion resistant. So brush, sharp edges, and rough materials that would shred an outdoor shell just don't cut it. And when it finally starts to dry out after years, you don't toss it, you re-wax it, and it's basically new again. It's made in the USA with heavy hardware built to match the fabric. So the price per wear math that killed the cheap jackets earlier completely flips. One jacket across 10 or 20 years beats a stack of dead ones in a landfill. You order these from Filson, and yes, you're looking at around $400 and up. That's a real gulp. But this is the end game. Re-wax it now and then, give it hell, and stop shopping for a work jacket for decades. 7 jackets to leave on the rack, 3 worth your money. If this saved you a cold, wasted winter, send it to someone about to grab the wrong one. See you in the next one.